Okay, 3 minutes passed. I apologize. Because I'm not using Wi-Fi, and we just use telephones, unlimited data. This is, we try to do whatever we can in this imperfect environment. For that, okay, let's start it today. It's the 28th day, our quarantine meditation. And let's start it with calming and contemplation meditation, and followed by the loving kindness metta meditation. And I will spend the second half time, the second half hours, to speak about the Buddha's birthday and also the Vesak day. Here, always have a exercise, the muscle stretch and flexible. Secondly, you have a good spirit, take a shower, it will be good to do the meditation. And also make sure that you have a good sleep, so not drowsy, sleepy. Secondly, don't eat too much. When you have a lot of food in the stomach, start to do meditation, you will, feel asleep. Right? And of course, not too hungry either. And the clothes, also keep yourself warm. If you don't wear too much, because you try to wear kind of loose, make sure to cover it, towel, on your knees and on your shoulder. Okay, so now we're talking about sleep, clothes, and food. Okay, now finding it need to be hard, and don't sit on the sofa. And also, even though the floor is hard, okay? C'est la vie. Life, we have a few seconds that kind of disconnected. Anyway, I'm going to continue. So, if the floor, it's a marble or cold, wood floor, make sure you put a cushion or a blanket. So don't let your sorry, disconnected again. Okay, so don't let your third time trying, and it's already 10 minutes past. Okay, let's see here. Okay, when you sit on the cushion, this is your temple. And after you sit down, just remind yourself, body, breath, and mind. Body, 7 steps of Vairochana. So from your legs or feet or legs, your back, your hands, your shoulder, your chin, tongue, and eyes. Now, start from your legs. Close the leg. Have a leg closed. You can have a half lotus or full lotus. Okay? And now, the back. No hunching back. And then no stiffness either. Okay? So just very relaxed and upright, and put your hands, closed, and then the thumb slightly touched, and pull it in close to yourself, your body, and put on the thighs. And now, circulated your body clockwise, counterclockwise, to make sure that you sit stable. And also make sure your muscle and your joints, kind of relaxed and flexible. And now shoulder, back and forth, shrug your shoulder to loosen the muscle, and the chin pull in. And now before you put your tongue to exhale 3 times to breathe out impure breath. So visualize that when you breathe out, and all the impure air, energy in your body kind of exhale out. And after that, immediately close your mouth, okay? So now let's, blow out the impure air. And close your mouth. Now place the tip of your tongue behind the upper teeth. And now eyes closed. Now see, you have a very like a righteous position. Your nose and your navel in one line. So that means that your head is not lean over to left or right. And then also your ear and your shoulder also along the same line. Now you have a, great posture, right posture. So make you breathe very smoothly and you will not tired, okay? And now, so this is a body posture, and now this is here, this is the temple, this is a meditation hall, okay? So nostril, pay attention on your nostril, breathing in, breathing out. If you cannot concentrate, you do the counting from 1 to 10. When you breathe out, you count for 1, and from 1 to 10, 1 to 10, and 1 to 10, until you can concentrate. Now let's just assume now you can concentrate on your nostril. Now just following the breath, okay? Raise the awareness that you're breathing in and you're breathing out. And raise the awareness of your breathing. Is that too short or too long? The air is cold or is warm? And what about your breathing? The first one, no noise and not gasping or panting. And also make sure that you're breathing no congestion, okay? If that is the case, just observe. You don't have to deliver to breathing, like a deep breathing and breathing out. Huh? Of course, if you are very uncomfortable, you can do in the deep breathing, okay? Breathing in and breathing out. You can even use abdomen, doing the breathing. But if you want to Attain the concentration, samantha, just observe. Raise the awareness. And the breath, it's a subtle, longer, it's better. So the rough or coarse breathing is not considered as the ideal, breathing. Now let's use 3 minutes. Please practice your breathing, okay? Just following the breathing and knowing the breath coming, knowing the breath come out, knowing that the breath is full of your whole body. Okay, 3 minutes following your breath. And let's try a few minutes about when you breathing in and breathing out. There is no breathing, that means a stopping between the inhale and exhale. Raise your awareness, try to find that instant, that moment. And that also can help you easily to become concentration. Okay, let's practice. these 3 techniques, counting the breath or following the breath or finding focus on the stop of breathing. Which technique is better for your concentration? It will be kind of depend on individual. So you should find the right technique for yourself. Like for myself, I can just follow in the breathing, and so after a few days practice and bring me the samantha, I feel so joyful and serene concentration. It's just through one of the technique, but people are different, so you may try different technique, different method. Okay, now let's doing the vipassana. The vipassana means insight. That means to find the wisdom. You can focus on the sensation on your body to find that, to see the nature of your body, to see the nature of the sensation, the feeling on our body. And then you can extend to see all the nature even outside the body. Once when you see through the nature of the phenomena, that is where you gain the wisdom. Okay, now the best vehicle is our body. Now let's start the vipassana. Okay, look, kind of focus and scan the sensation on your body from the top of your head and to the toes of your left foot, part by part, top to the bottom, right to the left. Okay, your head, what is the sensation? Your face, you find tickling, you find heavy, you find cold, you find pain, discomfort, or sore, or numbness. Now move to your neck, front neck, back neck. What do you feel? Now to your right shoulder and to the arms, elbow, lower arm, and the palms and the fingers, one by one. What is the sensation? Maybe you even aware of a pulse on your wrist. Now move it to your left arm, left shoulder, left upper arm, elbow, lower arm, your left palm, fingers, one by one. Now your front torso, your chest, your belly, waist, lower back, now the right hip, right thigh, right knee, right leg, right foot, and the toes, one by one. Now to the left of your hip, thigh, knees, leg, foot, toes, one by one. Now focus on the strongest feeling, strongest sensation on your body, that area. For example, pain. Go to that area. Make an analysis. Where exactly the pain? Inside, outside, on the skin, on the muscle, inside the bone? What does it mean about pain? You can doing the counting breath, following the breath, or watch, raise the awareness, finding the stop. As I mentioned that today is the most frustrating. Either use Wi-Fi or the data roaming. But anyway, we just want to continue. That I am going to share with you about the Buddha's birthday and also the Vesak day. You're probably quite aware of that recently, these 1 or 2 weeks, and you have heard of a celebration of Buddha's birthday, or so-called the Vesak day. Okay, so now let me remind you that, remember we talk about the 3 traditions: Theravada tradition Buddhism in South Asia country, and also Han tradition, Buddhism, in East Asia country, like China, mainland China, Korea, Japan, and Taiwan, and Hong Kong area. And we also have a called Vajrayana, or most people will know what we call Tibetan Buddhism. So if we look at these three traditions, okay, now, when we celebrate the so-called the Buddha's birthday in Theravada tradition and also in Tibetan tradition, but mostly in Theravada tradition, that means in South Asia, like Sri Lanka, Burma, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, that this country celebrates so-called Vesak Day. Okay, the first one, when is the day? Well, it's in the full moon day. That means the 15th of the fourth month. These fourth months usually refer to lunar calendar. So, lots of time it fall into the May in the common, calendar. And during this Vesak, V-E-S-A-K, Vesak Day, that the Theravada Buddhism, they celebrate that the birth of the Buddha, the Gautama Buddha, and then the enlightenment days of the Buddha, and also his passing away. That means his death, the birth and death, and also attain the enlightenment. Of course, that day we call paranirvana. So the Theravada tradition, they will celebrate these kind of three symbolic dates during, the full moon day of this month. And okay, here I think that okay, now how about Tibetan? Tibetan tradition, they also celebrate the full moon day, that means the 15th of the fourth month. But this fourth month will be according to the Tibetan calendar. So they usually call Saka Dawa Day. Okay? So it basically falls in April, May, or sometimes could be June. It depends on their calendar. Okay, now let's move to Han tradition, Han Buddhism. So in the Han Buddhism, that means, mainland China, Korea, Japan, and Taiwan and Hong Kong area. So in this Han tradition, the first one, they celebrate the Buddha's birthday, however, on the 8th of, the fourth month. Okay, the 8th, I think it's because 8 is a good number. And then let's look at the other day they celebrate will be the Buddha attend the enlightenment. So that is on the 8th of December. 8th of December, and these are all lunar calendar. But of course, so this is a two big birthday, the holiday, Buddha's birthday, Buddha's enlightenment day. Okay? How about the Buddha's passing away, the Nirvana day, or even the Buddha leaving the palace and become a monk? It was considered on the 8th of the second month that the Buddha leaving the palace, leaving home, to become hermit, to start his practice. And then on the 15th of the second month will be considered the Buddha's nirvana state, paranirvana state. That means the day he passing away. But in Han tradition, we do not celebrate that much about his, leaving home or, nirvana state. Only celebrate his birthday on the 8th of the April, according to lunar calendar, and also the 8th of December, his enlightenment day. Okay, so then if you look at it this year, for example, at this year, for the Buddha's birthday, the Han tradition, they celebrate the 8th of April in lunar calendar, and so it happened to be in the common era, that Western calendar, it was fall into the 30th of the April, last week. And according to the Theravada tradition, the full moon day of the 4th month, it fall into May 7th. So you will find that, all the Buddhists celebrate the Buddha's birthday, but, they are indifferent because they use the different, calendar. Okay, so now, let me give you a little bit on the 8 major episodes of the Buddha's life. Okay, of course, we all know about so-called the Buddha for the present age. That means that we have people attain the enlightenment in the past and also in the future. But right now, for this age, it was indicate that Gautama Buddha, born in India, in 2000, about 2,500 years. Of course, that according to the South Asia Buddhist tradition, they will tell you that these years are the Buddha has, was born in 623, BC. Okay. But if you want to make it general, you just say, okay, the Buddha was born the 500 years before the Common Era. So that was 2005 years ago. Okay. So in tradition, if you go to the monastery, the first one you will see older, like a mural or the painting or sculpture indicated that there was 8, major episode of the Buddha. What is called, in Chinese, we call 八相成图, 八相成道, 八相成道. So the first one is said that the Bodhisattva, the Buddha, before he attained enlightenment, he was the Bodhisattva descending from the Tusita heaven. That indicated that the Buddha is not ordinary person. This is his last, life, and then he descending from the heaven and want to become a Buddha, an enlightened one. So that was the first one, descend from the Tusita heaven, where Tusita is the Mantriya Buddha, that's the future Buddha's place. The secondly, that the Buddha entered into the womb, of his mother, Queen Maya. So womb, that means prepare to be born in this world. Of course, that Queen Maya has has a good dream about like a white elephant with six the trunk into her womb. Then the third one then is the Bodhisattva, the baby Buddha, to be literally means out of the womb. That means the lady, Queen Maya, gave birth of the Buddha. And this is very important. And of course, where she gave birth of the Buddha, so historical right now is in Lumbini Garden, is nowadays in Nepal. Okay, but at that time, the geographic at that time is still considered India. A lot of a small country, kingdom. Okay. So then, so now the fourth one will be, the fourth episode will be the Buddha was born as a prince, but he married and has kids. But when he saw the four sign, a sick person, old people and dead people, and the fourth sign is to see a hermit. And he decided, now it's time for me, for my spiritual life. So the fourth major episode of the Buddha is to leave the palace, leave his wife, his child, and to become a hermit, become a monk. So leaving home will be considered the fourth. And now, then the Buddha started ascetic practice. So he had to overcome all the challenge, the Mara, the demons. So the fifth episode is the Buddha the Bodhisattva, the prince Gautama, have to overcome the demons, all the challenge. Okay, so this is the fifth one. And the sixth one will be the Buddha attained enlightenment. The Gautama Buddha now attained enlightenment. So the seventh episode is depict that the Buddha started turning the wheel. That means that he started to, spread the Dharma and decided to have a disciple and students. So turning the Dharma, propagated the Dharma, the teaching. And now the eighth episode is the Buddha's passing away when he was 80 years old. That means that he have to, even the physical body will be gone. So that's his death, the paranirvana. So if you go to the temple, especially in Han Traditions temple, you will see these 8 major episodes of, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, thank you, now we are back. Okay, so then the Buddha, as we leave the home, and then now the Buddha have to overcome all the challenge, especially the Mara, the demons challenge. And now the Buddha, the sixth one, that the Buddha attained enlightenment. And then the seventh, the Buddha turning the wheel, spread the Dharma, propagate the Dharma. The eighth one is attained nirvana. That means that he passed away. Okay, so, but Chinese, as I mentioned, the Han tradition, that, the Buddhists celebrate the Buddha's birthday, so the 8th of April. But remember that in Japan, they do not celebrate according to the lunar calendar. They celebrate still at the April of 8th, but according to the Western calendar. And now, very interesting, even in the Han Buddhist tradition, that we celebrate that the Buddha attained enlightenment. Okay, when will be the 8th of December? So the 8th of December, in Chinese, the December also called the month of La. So we call it the La Yue, the month of La. And so the 8th of December we call La Ba. Ba means 8. Okay, so the custom is that the temple will prepare great amount of porridge and then distribute to all his community members. So why use the porridge? Because remember that the Buddha was practiced asceticism. You know, he was so starving, like emaciation, almost like a starved to death. But he decided to take the middle path. So he accepted the milk-made, sjata. So offering is the, rice cooked with the milk, cow milk. And then after the Buddha, at that time it's called Bodhisattva, okay. After the prince, they drink these rice milk and gain a lot of energy and was able to sit under the Bodhi tree and attain the enlightenment. So this offering, this receiving offering is very important for his attaining enlightenment. So that is why in Chinese Buddhism that, at the 8th of December or the 12th month, we should say the 8th of 12 months, almost in the winter time, that the temple will prepare a lot of porridge, like a rice soup, and then free treat to the public and also, distribute to all his community members. And I want to mention here that, at the UN, United Nations, in 1999, they passed kind of recognition that to recognize that the full moon day of May in the common, like a Western calendar, will be International Vesak Day. So the people, the Buddhist community can celebrate at the United Nations headquarters or, the other, the United Nations organization. So if you go to Thailand, Bangkok, so every year in May, that in the headquarters in Bangkok, UN's headquarters in Bangkok, there was a big Vesak Day. Okay, and how about in New York's headquarters? They also let the Buddhist organization to use the UN's facility to celebrate the Vesak Day. You guys can kind of Google about UN's Vesak Day. So that means started from the 2000, that United Nations start to celebrate the Buddha's birthday in May. So they usually people pick up during the weekend and to celebrate the Vesak Day. Okay, the whole month, the May in whole month they can celebrate. Okay, so one thing also very interesting is that in 2009, Taiwan's government recognized, through the Buddhist communities, their effort to push the government to pass the law to recognize that the Buddha's birthday, when will be the same day as the, Mother's Day. So we all know that in Taiwan, the Mother's Day will be the second Sunday of May. So that the Buddhist community in Taiwan pushed the government to recognize that Buddha's birthday, same as Mother's Day, and as the public holiday. Because the argument is in Taiwan that the December 25th, it's so-called the Christmas. Indeed, that was Taiwan's Constitution's Day. And so, but most people don't, they don't remember it's the National Constitution Day. They only think, oh, this is the Christmas Day. So, the Taiwanese Buddhist community say, hey, we also want to have some Buddha's birthday. So they pick up the Mother's Day. So in Taiwan, that the big organization like Foguangshan or Ciji, they have a big celebration of bathing the baby Buddha. And even the Foguangshan, the Buddha's Light Mountain, they even have the big ceremony in front of the presidential hall. That means almost like a celebrate in front of White House in Taiwan. Okay? And what the people doing? So all the Buddhist follower, they will go, and then there was a ceremony, the rituals, have a baby Buddha, and then in a pond with the water, and usually this water will cook with all kinds of Chinese herb, so the soup you can drink, and it's good for health. But they use this herbal, water and to bath the baby Buddha. So you just use a ladder and then put the water on the shoulder of the baby Buddha. And so there is a famous vase of the bathing the Buddha. It's called 我今观目诸如来净智庄严功德海五浊众生离尘垢证得如来净法身。So the translation will be now I'm showering and bathing the Tathagata, means the Buddha, all the Tathagata. Okay, with what? With the merits ocean adorned by pure wisdom. And I wished all the sentient beings, in the five turbidity, like impurity, impure world, will depart from the secular dust and to attend the Dharma body of Tathagata. So when you are chanting the verses and at the same time you are doing the bath. Okay, now let's talk about the Buddha's birthday and the Mother's birthday. Why pick up at the Mother's Day? Of course, that in Chinese culture, the filial piety is very important. Especially, we have to pay the gratitude to our parents, especially mother. So, in Buddhism, that our birthday, we would say is the mother suffered day. That means of course, right now, we all celebrate the baby was born, because right now with the old medical, science, medical technique, that most of the women, they give a labor that is much safer. But if you think of in the ancient time, many women, could die off from the labor, or they have to face a lot of risk. So that is why the Buddhist tradition will recognize that is the day that mother suffered of the pain from giving the labor. Okay? And so, when Western we celebrate the birthday, and in the Buddhist tradition, in Chinese tradition, that on this day we have to thank our mom, especially thanks to the mom. And I also feel like, sometimes when we talk about, the Bodhisattva, where is the Bodhisattva? Indeed, our mother are the Bodhisattva. What does it mean about Bodhisattva? That means that someone with unconditional love to love someone. And you find that in this world, the possibility is from the mother. So I always find that what does it mean about unconditional love? We really can find from our parents, especially our mother. If you see all of the instincts, reaction from the mother try to save their kids, that is the Bodhisattva. The only thing is the Bodhisattva, the love, unconditional love, is not just for her own child, but also extend to, all the sentient beings. So, so let's celebrate, the Buddha's birthday and be always thinking about, pay our gratitude to our parents, and also treat all the elderly, people just like our parents, and they have done the, contribution to our society. So celebrate the Mother's Day and the Buddha's birthday and become very meaningful. Before I end of this talk, that one of our Woodenfish community met Osborne. He also gave a live streaming talk on the Vesak day, last week. And it was wonderful because he also read through the 3 paragraphs, from the, literature, and very beautiful. And I think I will share with you. I think I already shared with the Woodenfish Sangha, but I will share with you. It's worthy to read it through. So, before I end it, I apologize that today, the Wi-Fi is, challenges. It's keep a disconnect. So, but, let me remind you that, this quarantine meditation has been 48 days. We are operate under very imperfect environment because we don't have a efficient Wi-Fi, and I have been using my unlimited data from the cell phone. So I understand it always disconnected, and then also the image is not clear. People complain like, sometimes cannot hear the voice or cannot see the image. Let's think about this as a challenge in our life, because everything is not always perfect. But that's c'est la vie, okay? And I will see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and for the last day of 49 days quarantine meditation. Thank you so much.